The rain had not started yet, but the sky over Route 9 hung low and gray, the kind of gray that made every color underneath it look tired. Renata Boone gripped the steering wheel of her sedan with one hand and the manila packet on the passenger seat with the other, as if letting go of it for even a second might undo 3 weeks of careful federal procedure. She was 39 years old, a retired master sergeant, and for the last 4 years she had worked as a casualty assistance officer, the person the military sends when a family needs to be told the truth about a loved one who is never coming home. Tonight she was delivering something different. Inside the sealed packet was the final commendation, the personal letters, and the posthumous Silver Star citation belonging to Staff Sergeant Malik Ortiz, a young soldier who had died protecting to other men during a training exercise gone wrong. The packet carried a federal seal because it was still part of an active review into how his death had been handled at the unit level. Chain of custody mattered. Breaking that seal before the family received it in the presence of a certifying officer could compromise the entire investigation. Blue lights filled her rearview mirror before she reached the county line. She pulled over onto the gravel shoulder, engine idling, hands already resting where an officer could see them. A young patrolman named Cole Whitfield approached her window with the particular swagger of a man who had never been questioned about anything in his life: registration, license, the usual questions, delivered with more suspicion than the situation called for. His eyes kept drifting to the packet on the passenger seat, its red federal seal catching the last of the daylight. "What is that?" he asked. "It is a federally sealed document under my custody," she said, her voice calm and even. "I cannot let you open it. It is part of an active casualty case." He smiled the way people smile when they have already decided not to believe you. "Everything in this car is my business until I say otherwise," he said, and reached across her before she could stop him. "I am asking you formally," she said, "do not break that seal. If you do, you are compromising a federal casualty investigation and I will document it." He tore it open anyway. The wind caught the edge of Malik Ortiz's final letter to his mother before Renata could grab it, and for one terrible second the paper fluttered along the gravel shoulder like something alive trying to escape. Renata was out of the car and down on one knee, retrieving it before Whitfield even registered what had happened. She smoothed the paper against her palm with the tenderness of someone handling a wound, then turned to face him, and for the first time that evening her voice cracked, not from fear, but from grief held too long in a professional shell. "Do you understand what you just did?" she said. This was for his mother. These were his last words to her. "You do not get to touch that because you were bored on a Tuesday." Whitfield's certainty faltered as he read the letterhead over her shoulder. The seal of the Department of Defense, the name Ortiz, the words posthumous commendation. Within the hour, Renata's supervisor was on the phone with the county sheriff, and within 2 days, an internal review had been opened, not into her, but into Whitfield's conduct. What nobody in that department expected was the second discovery buried inside the file: an old service record cross-reference showing that 11 years earlier, a young private named Ortiz had pulled an unconscious training partner out of a flooding culvert during a joint exercise. That training partner's last name was Whitfield. Cole Whitfield had never known the man's full story. He had only grown up hearing that some soldier had saved his older brother's life once, long before Cole joined the force, long before he learned to mistake authority for respect. Renata met with the Ortiz family 3 days later, this time with a temporary replacement seal issued by her office and a formal letter of apology from the county, requested not by her superiors but by Whitfield himself, delivered in person, in uniform, on his own time. Malik's mother read her son's last letter at her kitchen table, and for the first time since his death, she did not cry alone. Renata sat beside her, the way she always did, the way the job demanded and the way her own heart insisted, until the woman finally looked up and asked only one thing: "Is my son remembered as who he really was?" Renata told her yes, and for once, the sky outside had cleared. Respect is not something you extend once you approve of someone. It is something you extend before you know their story, because everyone carries something sealed that deserves to be handled with care. If this story moved you, like this video, tell us in the comments who came to mind while you watched, and subscribe for more stories about dignity, service, and the quiet strength that changes everything.